How strong is PCO business today?
Actually, it's very strong. However, the PCO business is changing. The business models are changing. So I would say that in a way, the traditional PCO business is changing in towards from logistics much more to strategic assistance. And you see different PCOs doing very different things nowadays. The package of services has extended and will change over time. That we see a lot, yeah.
You mentioned traditional.
Yes.
What was so traditional?
Logistics. The PCOs used to be called in to do logistic jobs, and that still exists and is still important. However, the type of logistics have changed, and I think the package of services much more strategic in nature. That has changed a lot.
What frustrates you about meetings industry?
Spam, unsolicited emails that I get by the hundreds, and I'm sure a lot of people get that. I suppose it's part of what we do, and I also respect the fact that people are trying to reach out. But as an individual, it's very difficult to deal with on a daily basis sometimes. So,
do you miss anything?
No.
What will the future of international and local PCOs be?
Well, actually, I say that for both there is a real opportunity. Since we just touched on the change of services, I think that local PCOs will still have a very good opportunity to work with international associations or with core PCOs. International PCOs probably will seek much more long-term assignments from international clients. It depends a bit on the client profile, it depends on the business model. However, local PCOs do, of course, offer that particular element of destination knowledge if they are very much focused on delivering a particular service in a certain destination, combined, of course, with strategic understanding of what an association in particular wants. Then they're able to offer that on a purely local basis, and I still see opportunities there.
You have some advice for Slovenia, maybe?
Well, as far as I can see, Slovenia has been very active in recent years just to present themselves as a meetings destination, not only as a tourist destination. I think
Slovenia is a rising star in Southeast.
I was going to say, I mean, it's a very well-known destination. My company, for example, does business there, corporate business there. It's a destination that's very popular, and it will grow. I think in general, the whole region of Southeastern Europe is growing. I mean, there's an interest for new destinations always, and with that interest, new business opportunities arise, professionalism arises, so it's coming. It's just a matter of time, really.
How to bring MICE industry closer to the audience, closer to the people?
I think that's a question we all asks ourselves on a daily basis, because we've seen a real change of interest from looking at what a Congress need is rather now towards the individual participants' needs. I think that comes with a generation as well. And individuals now really prefer to be addressed individually. And it's difficult. I mean, it depends very much on the circumstances, which technical tools and marketing channels you use to reach.
Stores, maybe?
It depends really on what the client really wants to achieve. I mean, if you're looking at an association, what do they want to achieve for their association? It depends. There's not one answer. There's I suppose if I can say face-to-face meetings are very important. On the one hand, I think the virtual meeting as such is coming up because it offers an opportunity to also store knowledge, to store content. So I think that's a very important trend that I see. Yeah.
How do you rate the development in Eastern Europe and especially in Southeastern Europe?
Well, I mentioned that before. I think Southeastern Europe certainly has been growing. I mean, the destinations, even if you look at the fairs, the international fairs, you see an interest. The key issue there is, of course, that the governments, the institutions that actually fund these opportunities, they are there. I mean, and they believe that the meetings industry is something that they want to take part in. And that's the key issue. I mean, if there's no funding, the business will come later, but you have to make that investment first, and to convince those parties to do that investment, to make that investment, that's really an important issue. So